Let me know when you want to start.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I'm ready. Sorry, I thought I was waiting for you. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
I'm waiting for you.
Oh. Welcome back to Mega Music Memories, the podcast that remembers and celebrates the unsung heroes of pop and dance from yesteryear who've earned permanent places in our hearts with their epic music. My name is Matt Gibson. Join me as I interview artists from the 90s and noughties who, in my view, don't always get the plaudits they deserve for the amazing music they made and the magical memories they've given to us fans. If you're a nostalgia nerd, subscribe and stay tuned as we continue our journey looking back at an awesome era. If you love pop, if you love nostalgia, and enjoy hearing your favourite old school artists reflecting on their careers and giving us the lowdown on what they're doing now, you're in the right place. So buckle up, because we've got some serious reminiscing to do. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Mega Music Memories. On today's pod, I catch up with Maria Rubia, the multi-talented, multilingual singer, songwriter, actress, model, TV presenter and disc jockey who shot to fame in January 2001 when she collaborated with the German trance group Fragma on the single Everytime You Need Me, which got to number 3 in the UK charts and earned Maria a silver disc. Maria went on to achieve further top 40 success later that year with her solo track Say It. She collaborated with Akyra on a dance mix of Here Comes the Rain Again by the Eurythmics, and with Double N on Forever and a Day, which was used as the theme tune for reality TV juggernaut Big Brother in Denmark and Sweden. Now, I have to say that it was such a pleasure for me personally to interview Maria. I am a huge fan of trance music, particularly in that mid to late 90s, early 2000s period when trance was at its commercial peak, or it certainly was here in the UK at least. I'm a massive fan of Fragma, and Everytime You Need Me is genuinely one of my favourite tracks of all time. And Maria's vocals on that track, the way she sings some of those words, honestly, it just makes me melt, you know. So it really was an honour and a privilege to interview her, and I'm so happy and relieved that she was so nice to speak with. Very friendly and genuine and warm, and she has some really interesting things to say and some top anecdotes that she shares with us in our chat. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, I think 2022 is going to be a really exciting time for Maria, because she is back in the studio recording new material and working towards releasing new music with international DJ and producer Chelsea Singh this summer. So I started by asking Maria to tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so basically, I met Chelsea. He's one of the 5th top producers in the UK. He's coming out with loads of great tracks at the moment with other well-known artists. And that was a massive compliment for me. I was like, yes, please, it's a no-brainer. So it's going to be pop dance again. Obviously, he's going to come up with some really, really good remixes, but it's going to come out this summer, yeah. So I've not been in the public eye for a while. Last one, I was gigging with Cheryl Cole and some other well-known artists in 2016. So, yeah, it's been a couple of years. I've been doing award shows where I've been like a judge and things like that with Dame Bowers. That was really, really funny. And it's bizarre because I get recognised sometimes and then I don't. So it's really funny because you just think, it's really weird how I get more recognised when I'm with my celeb friends. It's really random. But then if I'm in a supermarket, then I don't, which is really cool because I'm not really into that side of it. I'm more into the creativity and just looking natural and just wearing whatever you want, whenever you want, and, just easy breezy type of thing. And I'm not like an attention seeker, so that's why I haven't done specific like reality TV shows to stay in the public eye or, wanting to be packed to be in the papers. That's not my way of living at all. So the most important is just coming out with a really good track. I have had, over the years since then, I've been asked, to release stuff, but I say to them, I can't sing that live, and if I can't sing that live, then let's not do it, because they've been sending me like mega powerful ballads that I can sing in the studio, but for the fact that everything goes Pete Tong, you're not going to hit that note.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not putting myself down singing wise, but I'm just really realistic, because I have been on stage where I have had sets fall down or the music has stopped and you just go a cappella, and it has to be real. You have to be real. So yeah, and I'm definitely not one to mime. I did mime for like Top of the Pops and some other TV shows because that's just easier for the producers, for the directors, for the TV show. But yeah, it's just nice to be, to be live for them to hear your voice and how it sounds. So yeah, so it's going to be really exciting. We're going to be touring a lot all over the world again, which is good because I'm multilingual, so I speak loads of languages. I don't know if you know. So, yeah, and that was always nice to be able to do like a German interview in German, French in French, Spanish in Spanish, and things like that. And the TV host would always like that, the TV presenter would like that. I'd be able to speak in their language. But when we go to China and Japan and things like that, I can't speak any of that. So we'll have to have a translator or speak in English.
Maria, it's incredibly impressive that you can just speak any other language. I think it's absolutely fantastic. So
thank you.
So have you recorded any tracks yet then?
No. So next month. So I'm going into the studio. So basically, I don't know how it works with other people, but with me, I get sent the instrumental, and then I listen to it, and then I get the ideas in my head, right, within minutes, and then I'm writing down what's coming out of my head, and then I'll sift through the good and the bad stuff. I think, oh, that's rubbish, or okay, no, we'll keep that. And then the melody comes either together with the lyrics, or then I've got to think of melody to link up with the lyrics. And then I'll send it back, so I'll record it. I'll record it vocally, just basic, and then I'll send the ideas back to the producer. So that's exactly what I did with Chelsea. Did it basically within 10 minutes. I'll send in some stuff back to him, and it's like, oh, cool. And then we're going to be cracking on with more this week now. But the instrumental that he sent me is extremely good, like it's top. I don't really, I don't want to be sent something like that's not going to get into the charts. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because what's the point? Do you know what I mean? I'd rather work a 9 to 5 than try and play something that's not credible. I think it's really important to come out with something that you're really proud of. So, the instrumental is extremely good. And I really like a strong bass because it sounds really good in festivals, sounds really, really good in clubs, and the audience love it. And so do I. Can really, really dance to it and just, forget about all the stress of, COVID and all that doo-doo and just let your head down and just listen to the music and get into that song. So I like it banging. What
kind of sound are we sort of talking about here, Maria, then? Is it something fans of your music in the past will be familiar with, or can we expect something a little bit different?
To be honest, that's another thing. I have been sent different stuff. I mean, I was proposed last year with a record deal to do a completely different genre of music. And I thought, how am I going to pull that off? Because that's just not me. And so if I'm not feeling it, you're going to hear that on the track. And there's no point just doing it for loads of money because it's not, nah. So I politely declined, but this is exactly in the same genre. And it's really good because then you can pick up from where you left off. Yeah. You know what I mean? And the fans are going to be like, yes. They've already said they're really excited, and I'm lucky because I've got them all over the world. It's going to be nice for them to just go, oh yeah, okay, now we can add that onto the list. yeah, that'll be good.
And so you've mentioned Chelsea, so this is Chelsea Singh, isn't it? The Select FM DJ?
He's a producer. He produces all day, every day. He does the radio thing on the side. His main bread and butter is producing. Yeah. And he's coming out with a lot of very good tracks, which is extremely good. I am working with other producers as well, and I'm working with producers for movies. So I've been offered a feature film role, which is really exciting. Basically, COVID sort of stopped everything, filming, etc., and delayed. So it was supposed to start filming 2 years ago, well, in 2019. But now that's back on track now. We've also got tracks that I'm doing for feature films as well, which is really cool.
Okay. Can you tell us more about that, the movie side of things, or is that all under wraps?
Yeah, so when I was in the public eye before, I was doing a bit of this and that, so I was like singing and TV presenting, and I was acting as well. So I've always acted since I was young in theatre, and I wanted to get into film. So I did film in America, and my mum came over with me because we were there for 6 weeks. But then the investors pulled out, so then that film never happened.
Is that Eagle One, or is that something else?
No, that's another one.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Basically, it was a spoof comedy film. It was actually really funny to film because I was Janet Jackson. You know when she was with Justin Timberlake at the
the wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah. And when she was wearing the scarf, but then she flashed her boob instead. So it was like that. So I'm white and blonde, but I'm supposed to be Janet Jackson. So no, this is a completely different film.
Right.
This is an amazing, actually a famous actor who's turned to scriptwriter, and he has got a deal with a very well-known director in America. So it went from quite a small film to it's going to be big now. So that's good. That's exciting. And there's a lot of British actors that are going to be in it.
Right.
But also very big A-listers as well. So that's exciting.
Wow, yeah, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah, thank you. We'll wait and see.
So are you hopeful that you will be able to record enough tracks for an album?
So the plan at the moment, again, because I've not been in the public eye for a while, and I'm not at all demanding, and I'm very realistic. So I'm like stepping stones, because you can't just, get you can't get what you want in the media. So you have to just chill out and just accept what is given to you, really, and just be grateful. Well, that's how I feel anyway. So we're going to do the single, and then I've got another single with another producer who's come out with loads of stuff that I've been playing at the moment on Radio 1. So that's really lucky. And then we'll just see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I may carry on with the singing, or I then would, you know, I would like to go back into the media because I really, really, really like it. But I just got to see how it goes. It is, I mean, everything's online, so it's easier, but I do like to be out there with, you know, everybody, and I like to gig a lot. I like to understand if they like the music, and you get the vibe from the audience when you're clubbing and gigging with them. So I like that. I don't just like to see how many followers I've got, or, you know, how many clicks, etc., or how the track is doing well that way. I like to get the feedback from the fans themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if I can take you back, Maria, you were born in Norwich, moved to France as a child, and went to a French-speaking school. Then I understand...
Yeah, you know a lot about me now.
I've done
your research.
I do my research, Maria, yeah.
Oh my God.
I understand your family returned to the UK before moving again to Spain, so that's a lot of moving around. How did you find that?
Yeah. I love it. So that's how I've been brought up, and that's how I picked up the languages. I want to move back to France in the future. I love France. That's like my home. South of France is just stunning. You've got the beach, and then you've got the rivers with the waterfalls. I used to jump off as a child off the waterfalls straight into the rivers. It's just the best. And have scorpions. You know, I used to have wild boars in my back garden. You know, so I'd come back from school, jump in my swimming pool, and then just go for a walk in the garden and just see these wild boars in the forest. It was like, that was normal. So, yeah, that's why I speak the languages, because French is my first language, and then Spanish is exactly the same. It's Latin-based. So, yeah, I was in university when I got approached by Fragma, which was a really big deal because they just had the number one. And I was nervous, even though I'd been promoting myself, because I was mega confident, I was mega hungry. I really wanted to sing. That was it. And I didn't want to sing in theatres, because I did that as a child, but I really wanted to have a track out there, and I really wanted it to be a hit. It's mad how I can't even explain it. It's like when you're hungry, so you need to eat. It's like that. Really want it, really, really want it. So I'd be ringing up all these record companies myself, singing down the phone and all this stuff. I'd be having meetings with all these men. I'd be like a teenager. I'd be saying, sign me. And I got approached by Fragma, and I was signed to EMI Records, and it was really quick. I don't know if the artists have also said this, but it was mega quick from, you are just this normal person who really wants it, to, you're filming your pop video, you've sung your track, you've got the yes phone call, you're now being told you're doing the pop video, and now you're getting recognised wherever you go. It's that quick. And it's like, whoa, but in a good way. I remember the first time I heard a track play on Radio 1, I was at a petrol station, and I literally was screaming on my car, crying my eyes out with joy, and then I got out and I was shaking and I was filling up my tank, and then this woman goes, "Oh, you're Fragma," and I was like, "Oh my God." Yes, so tough. That's what it feels like. And that was it. And then it went from better to better to better to better. It was just like, it was like a dream. It was like a fairy dream. It was like a princess's dream. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I was flying everywhere. I was catching more planes per week than I was taxis.
Yeah.
And the joke was, where am I today? Where am I this week? Because you literally go from, you're getting chauffeur driven to the airport. From the airport, you get taken to wherever country, but you go straight to a hotel. Then you go from the hotel to like the TV studios or the photo shoots, wherever. So you're not really seeing the country at all. You're literally living out of a suitcase. But I appreciated every single minute of it, and I took my family with me, my friends with me. I'd spoil everybody. I'd be like, go into a shop and just choose whatever you want. But the weird thing is, a lot of the time, you get everything free. And I'm like, that does not make sense now. No. You should be giving the free stuff to the homeless people and to the people that can't afford, these nice things. And you're giving it to the rich and famous. And that's not right. No. And I didn't like that side of it. I would always say thank you very much. But if I went into a restaurant, for example, the owner would be like, oh, hi, give me the best table away from the paparazzi. And then the meal's on us, And I'd be thinking, why can you not do that to the poor homeless guy who hasn't? I've got money now, I can pay for my meal. It would be the same wherever I went. It was mad. And like shops, you go into the shop and they'd be like, it's okay, it's on us. Oh my gosh, that's a bit mad. But it was extremely incredible where I would meet like Michael Jackson, big names, Tina Turner. And I'd be like, wow, Elton John, who knew who I was? And I was like, this is really, really nice. This is really cool. But then on the flip side, you do work with people who really think that they're God, and they're very demanding, very hard to work with. And I've dealt with a lot of people like that, from A-listers to Z-listers. And you just think, that's just really silly. You're being really rude to that runner. You're being really rude. You're not being realistic, and that side of it you just have to ignore and try and help the runner or try and help the security guard or try and help whoever. And they always would go, thanks, Maria, for that. And I'll be like, that's okay.
Can you name any names, Maria, or are you gonna keep that to yourself?
No.
Okay.
No, there was one very, very... very big name female who wanted her dressing room painted a specific colour. That's just crazy. Yeah. And didn't like the colour of the dressing room and was in the dressing room probably for about 5 minutes. And you had another one that wouldn't climb up the stairs where the stage was. That was a bit mad. And I think fame hits people in different ways. With me, it was very much, I've been brought up as a nice, caring person, so I would just appreciate everything. I do remember it was really hot, and we were gigging. There was 100,000 people in the audience, and it was really hot. So we were in the VIP area, and there was loads of bottles of water, and there was loads of, I don't like the word fans. There was a lot of public people just, kind of touched me and were screaming and wanted to have a conversation with me. And I was like, how long have you been here? They were at the fence. And they go, hours since blah, blah, blah. And I was like, And I immediately went into the VIP area and gave all of the water. That was for me, but also for all the other artists. I gave it to them at the front of the fence. And they were like, oh my God, thank you. And security said, do you know what? I've never seen anybody do that before. That is so kind of you. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. That's the type of person that I was, if I could help. But you have to appreciate those people because you're exactly the same as them. Even though they're on the other side of the fence, you're just doing a job. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people don't get with the fame game. It's just a job. You can be at the top 1 minute, you can be dropped the next, So they just need to chill out sometimes.
So what can you tell us about your record deal with EMI back in the day, Maria? Was that a deal? Was that just for you, or was it tied in with Fragma in some way?
Well, I can't really talk about specifics on a business level because, to be honest, I would leave that with my lawyers. Yeah. I had very very expensive, but very, very good lawyers. I had that deal, and I then also had my other deal, whereby I released Say It.
Yes.
So I wrote that on the motorway. I was stuck on the motorway. Wrote
Yes.
that within 10 minutes. It just came out, and I was like, because I was bored. I sent it over to the producer, who then did the instrumental. And that was a good track. I really liked the video. I loved what the hairdresser, I had a famous celeb hairdresser who did my hair, and I've always wanted my hair to look like that again, but I've never managed to do it. Like, how did you do my hair like that? And then I did the Big Brother theme tune in Denmark. That was really funny, and he fell off the roof.
So this is
live on TV.
This is Forever and a Day, isn't it? That was the theme, the Big Brother theme in Denmark and Sweden. Is that right?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch those shows then? Because can you speak any of those languages?
So I speak Scandinavian, which is basically a mixture.
Yeah.
Danish for me are like the friendliest people ever, and the Scandinavian people they're just so warm and friendly, and so we had loads of laughs there. Do I watch the shows? Yeah. So I like Big Brother, and I think they should bring it back, especially like Celeb Big Brother, and I like I'm a Celeb, Get Me Out of Here. Excuse me. I like all of those. I just think they're like cool. But my favourite is Hunted.
Oh yes.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, on Channel 4.
Yeah, when you've got like Celeb Hunted and non-Celeb Hunted, they're both absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good show where they're trying to hide and then they're trying to find them. Yeah.
Would you like to do it? Would you like to do Hunted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I've spoken to producers already about doing it and it would just be really, really fun because you want to see how far you can get.
Yeah.
But you get found.
Yeah. What would your tactics be?
My languages, maybe that will help. I can pretend I'm French and then I can pretend I'm Spanish and with different wigs. Oh no, me, I'll get found within an hour. And I also did Akyra, and Dave from Eurythmics, he basically said to the producers before it got released that he really, really liked my version. So
Dave
that
Stewart,
was a big compliment. Yeah, that's it. Did I say Dave? Dave Stewart?
Just said Dave, yeah.
Name,
well, I guess you know him, don't you? So.
Oh, I've never met the guy.
Oh, right, okay.
No, producers speak to producers, do you know what I mean?
Right.
And you're just the artist who's in the background most of the time. No, he is it Dave Stewart? That's his name, isn't it?
Dave Stewart, yeah. So
yeah.
Here Comes the Rain Again. Is that what you're talking about now? Yeah.
Yeah. That was quite a difficult song to sing. You to sort of open your lungs and just belt out what you can, but that was banging in the club. That was a workout and a half. Like, you just stomp a lot. There's a lot of fast BPM going on. And, that was a really good workout for myself and my dancers on stage. That was really cool.
Yeah. And you mentioned Say It there. Now, there's some French in that track, isn't there? Yeah,
and Spanish. That's sort of my signature little thing that I do. Because I think it's important that people out there know whose track it is. So you get like Jack Jones who does his little thing at the beginning, what you're going to do. It's nice to have, a little thing that they go,
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice to make it also diverse for Spanish people, for, whoever's listening to it. So, yeah, I think it's nice to do that. I'd like to be able to sing in a different language fully, like in Japanese or Mandarin. Record company mentioned that before, and I was like, yeah, I'd really love to do that. So then you're on the stage and they completely understand every word that you're saying, but, you'd have to practice a lot. I'd have to practice a lot for Mandarin.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
Otherwise, maybe I'm saying a swear word and I'm not supposed to say a swear word. I mean, by accident. Because you said it wrongly.
So, Maria, how does singing in one language differ from singing in another, or does it not?
No, it's exactly the same. It's like riding a bike. Like, I remember I did a TV interview where I was speaking 5 languages, one after another, and they were like, but your brain just divides it. You just can do it. It's just, I don't know, you can just do it. It's like you can multitask. So you can, like, you know, brush your hair whilst you're putting your socks on, or, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, before we get into talking about Every Time You Need Me, I'm really curious just to get your opinion on trance music as a genre. Now, I've interviewed Angie Brown and Kim Sims recently, who both experienced success with house music. And they both told me that they weren't big fans of house music originally. Angie was more into rock, and Kim said that, like, she didn't find house music found her. So I'm wondering if that was the same with you and trance, or were you already a fan when you were approached by Fragma?
To me, whatever's getting played on the radio I liked, unless it was like heavy metal stuff or rock stuff. My parents are really cool, and I've been brought up with, like, parties going on at home, cheese and wine parties I'm talking about, not like
raves.
Bad stuff. Yeah. My parents are decent, posh people, but they'd have, like, pool parties, and even when we lived in England, and there was always music playing, always. And so I've been brought up with music, and my dad was very funny. Like, if he had friends coming over sometimes, and it was like going to be a nice dinner, then he'd have classical music on. So I've been brought up with a big spectrum of wide range of music. So if it was just the track, if the track was awesome, then I want to go into the studio and do it. And if it wasn't, then no. But obviously with Fragma, I was like, yeah, that's really good instrumental. The singer Demay was singing the rough demo on Every Time You Need Me, so I could already hear how they wanted it to sound. But then I did my little tweaking and different ad-libs and harmonies, and I made it strong and powerful, etc. And then that was it. It was a done deal. I literally flew over to Germany and met them, and then we recorded it that afternoon, and I went back to the hotel, and my mum and dad were like, did you get it? And I was like, I don't know. And then I got the phone call, like, I think it was that night, and then I rang my parents back, and I was like, I got it, and they were like, crying and screaming, and that was it. And it's mad how I'd meet, like, Phil Collins and people like that. It's very strange how you go from, you can be like in the supermarket again, for example, and you're going about your day-to-day stuff, and then that night you're meeting, or you're rubbing shoulders with royalty at event shows. You know, it's mad, but it's a good thing. You're just like, oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. Oh my gosh, that's so-and-so. I remember I was with the Honeys with Selena, and I said, okay, you get Pat. This is right at the beginning. You get Pat, and I was with Louise Redknapp as well. You get Pat, and I'll wait on the side. And then the paparazzi were going, Maria, Fragma. And I was like, oh my God. And they were going, come on, take a pic. And I was with Sandra Bullock. And I was like, oh my God. And then my first ever TV interview, I really messed it up because I was new. And they said, hey, what do you think of the new Elvis track? And I went, he's dead though, isn't he? And they were like, he sang remix. I was like, oh my God. That's me, like, that's typical me. And my friends are laughing, and Sandra Bullock was laughing. And then she fell over this set. Oh, it was so funny, where they were doing the film premiere, she fell over, bless her. And I quickly helped her up, and she went, oh, thanks. And I was thinking, oh my God, it's Sandra Bullock, this is mad. This world is mad. It was really nice. It was really fun. It was really nice to just have people say stuff like that your track helped them, you know, when they were depressed. Or I had a soldier that was stuck up a mountain, and I'll never forget it. And he said, I would just listen to your song over and over again. I was like, wow, that's what it's about. It's not about you getting paps or all that doo-doo. It's about somebody really likes your song, and it's actually helping them through, like, depression or mental health or loneliness. That's the best.
And Every Time You Need Me, speaking of that, kind of had something of a second life, really, didn't it, really, during COVID?
Yeah, 100%. Like, a lot of people kept playing it over and over again because of the lyrics. Yeah. Which it's a no-brainer, isn't it? It's like the lyrics are saying, you know, I'll be there, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, 100%. We didn't do a TikTok dance routine with it, but yeah, it did.
Now, you mentioned earlier about Demay, the other Fragma singer. You weren't the vocalist on Fragma's fourth single in the UK, You Are Alive. Was there at any point possibility that you would be, or were the conversations around you continuing to collaborate with Fragma? What can you sort of tell us about that?
No, so it's the same with Coco. So you do one song, and then they probably like to spice things up. It's not a continuous. It wasn't a continuous relationship. Yeah, and I totally understand that. It was never ever discussed. Right. Ever. Yeah. And Demay is German, so they already knew Demay right before, even right at the beginning. So you know, when you've got people that are near you, let alone in the same country, it's nice to work with them. So yeah, that's all I can say about that, really. No. Because I don't know anything else. I was just grateful that it gave me the, you know, to just get out there and be approached. I was getting approached by film producers and TV shows, and, you know, I now have so many nice friends in the media and contacts in the media. I've got a big USA radio station that want to play the song as soon as it comes out, as soon as it's recorded, let alone the ones in the UK. And that's so nice of them. They don't need to do that. No. But I think it's because they know that they want to help me get back out there as well, climb up the ladder again, which is really nice. I think that's the most important. Yeah.
Now, just back on Every Time You Need Me, how did you find shooting the video, and where was it filmed?
So it was going to be in Thailand, but they then decided Mallorca. So it was on a boat. I've actually got the replica of the boat that was given to me, which was really nice. And then, it was on the boat, and then I dived off. That was my idea, and then I regretted it as soon as I said it. Because I was like, I'm not going to look cool diving, man. I don't even know if I can dive well. Oh my God. But luckily, like, how they filmed it, it looked okay. And then we had a guy under the water who was filming as well. Yeah. And that was it. The model was really nice. The whole crew was really nice. We went jet skiing. Andrea Bocelli was at the restaurant with us, and we were eating lobster, and it was just really nice. It was really fun to do that. Miming is really funny for me. I'm just find it like, this is really funny. You got to mime the words.
Yeah. So did you have to mime in for the recording of the video? Is that right?
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the norm, but that's what I would do with all my pop videos, like say it, etc. But because I'm not into really miming, I would just sing it.
Yeah.
And then, because it felt more natural than just smiling. And I've done loads of modelling all my life, so I'm used to just posing for the camera and smiling, etc., or not smiling, or smiling with your eyes, smiling. But yeah, I would just sing the song and they would just film it. But it's really nice. Yeah, we were lucky with the weather as well. And say it was indoors. That was really cool. Like, they put tech stuff in my eyes, and as I said to you, the hair was really cool, and the model was really nice again, and it's just fun. It's just a really fun day. It's very tiring.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, like, you're there from early in the morning till late at night, and that can go on for, like, days, but it's the best. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world. I was grateful for every single minute of it.
Yeah.
Still.
And you performed Every Time You Need Me on Top of the Pops. What was that like?
I did, yeah. That was the dream.
Yeah.
Well, as a child, I said to my parents, I really, really want to get on Top of the Pops. And they were like, okay, darling. Sort of like, yeah, it's never going to happen. And then it's like saying you want to be an astronaut. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when it happened, I ran to the stage, and I had a very famous manager who had big names on his books. And he said, I've never seen an artist run to the stage for her first TV show. He said to my dad, I didn't know this, but he said to my dad, she is one of a kind. And my dad was like, oh, yeah. No, I don't know what else he said, but yeah, I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait to perform. I couldn't wait to get up there. And there was a guy, one of the dancers was Shazni, you know, from the All Saints.
Yes.
They're still together. Yeah, can't remember his name. So it was really nice, because that's what it's like in the media. You're sort of like a very large family, you know, like with Chelsea, and everybody knows everyone.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can ring up somebody I haven't spoken to, like, for 5 years. How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And the same with them, you know, and it's a lot of, I'll scratch my back, you scratch yours. How can I help? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a really nice community all over the world. So all the people who I liaise with are just really nice people, and as I said, it's really nice to just, you know, not speak to them for a while and then speak to them. And you can, like, send them stuff. I go, what do you think? And they're like, yeah, I'll pass it on to so-and-so, I'll pass it on to so-and-so. It's always networking, and it's nice. It's just, I don't know, it's like we're ants.
Yeah.
Trying to come up with really good stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
I was watching your Top of the Pops performance on YouTube. You kind of raised on a small platform during your performance, and you had to perform various dance moves. Were you worried about falling at any points or anything like that?
Yes. It was a tiny little platform.
Yeah.
So I couldn't do any, because I'm a dancer too. So I had to hold the mic, and I could only do one arm movement. So I looked like a robot. And smiling. So I try and do some modelling poses to try and make it look more interesting, because there was not much that I could do. And there's no way I was just going to stand there and just sing, because that's just not how I roll.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear music, even if I'm getting my hair done, my body starts to move, because it's, you know, it's in the blood, isn't it? You love music. So I tried to just sort of go up and down the stage as much as, but it was really, that's very observant. It was a very small stage. And I was trying not to fall off that stage.
And did you almost hit your head on a light at one point?
Yes, I did. How do you know that? Oh my gosh. What are the lottery numbers for this week, please, Matt? You know everything, man. Yes, I did. So the dancers lifted me up, but you know, in TV studios, there's a lot of lighting, and there was a bar. It's pretty low. I'm only short, and so when the dancers lift me up, my word, like, they nearly headbutted my head on this long line. So I sort of smile and carry on singing, but sort of move my head so we didn't go boom on this metal pole.
Oh dear. Well, I'm glad you had a narrow escape on that.
Thanks.
Now,
you have loads of stuff that happened to you. Like when I was on the roof on Big Brother, the theme tune, singing that track, the cameraman was going round and round, and the cable was going round my ankle, and I was looking and thinking, nah. So I sort of had to move my feet a little bit more to get out of the cable. Otherwise, I'd have fallen off the roof, and that would have been well funny.
Oh dear, yeah.
I did a football stadium, and it was raining, and I slipped, and I sort of had to pretend that it was a dance move. So I slipped
Brilliant.
again.
Style it out. That's the way, isn't it? That's showbiz.
You just got to blag it sometimes.
Absolutely.
Another one I had was my trousers were too big for me. I was a size 4, and these trousers from the stylist were just too big. And as I was moving, I could see Suggsy was right at the front, and he was smiling. I was having to hold with one hand the mic, and then with the other hand my trousers, and held them up because they were going to fall down. We do not want to flash, because the whole audience is a celeb audience as well. We do not want to flash the celeb audience. So you get loads of stuff that happens to you, and you just got to roll with it.
Yeah. Now, Maria, I have to ask you this question, and you're such an amazing person to ask about this as well, as someone who's worked closely with Fragma, but obviously not on their first 2 singles, Toca Me and Toca's Miracle. Now, which of those 2 singles do you prefer, and why?
All of them.
I know,
Toca's Miracle.
They're both great, obviously.
Miracle,
but
yeah, so Toca's Miracle was a mixture of 2 tracks.
Yes.
Combined.
Yeah.
So it was one DJ that heard one track and then they mixed it up.
Yeah.
But Everytime You Need Me was the second single.
Yeah.
So Toca's Miracle was the first single, and then Everytime You Need Me was the second single.
Okay.
And then it was on the Toca's album, and we had gold disc. So I've got a gold disc and I've got a silver disc. I love their work. What they did, it was at the time it was very, very big, and still is now. And I think it's like with all producers that come out with very big hits. They're very talented. It's actually very difficult to produce a track, to come out with really good instrumental. So kudos to everybody that comes out with really good stuff. They should pat themselves on the back, because not everybody can do it.
Yeah. Now, you've kept busy in the years you've been away from the music industry. You've had 2 children. You've done bits of TV presenting, modelling, and you've been a radio DJ as well. What can you tell us? What can you tell us about those different roles?
It's the same. Like, you're the same person, but you're just... Radio is brilliant because you can come from swimming and just go straight into the radio station, and you don't have to have, like, your hair nice and, like, you have to for TV. Nobody sees what you look like, which is really cool. And I invite a lot of friends and celeb friends and other friends onto the radio show to just make it more fun. I play current tracks because that's, I want the person who tunes in to love every single track. And I listen to a lot of Radio 1 and Kiss FM, and especially on Friday, and they're just absolutely banging. So I sometimes go from one to another. I sort of flip from Radio 1 to Kiss FM. If that track's better than that one, then I'll go. Do you know what I mean? I think radio is really important because you don't know where that person's listening. So you have to deliver every time. I am a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to pleasing Joe Public, but I think that's the most important thing. TV presenting as well. I remember one funny story. I had sickness and diarrhea. I was really sick. I had food poisoning. But I had to TV present live. So I was really, really, really sick. Right before I said to my chauffeur, you need to please stop at every single petrol station because I'm really, really ill. And he was like, please do not be sick in my car. And I was like, I'll try not to. And then I'd get literally on that chair and just smile and just deliver and read the auto cue, and you know they're talking to you in the ear at the same time as well, and try not to be sick. Literally, that was a day that I will never ever forget, and that was live, and that was really funny. So yeah, to be honest, the best one out of everything is being a mum. That's the best one.
Yeah,
that's the most rewarding.
Yeah.
I love children anyway. I've always loved them. Ever since I was a child, my mum said I would just pick up the baby. And they're the best. Children are the best. Children keep you grounded. And, you know, if you've put on weight, they'll tell you, wow, you know, your bottom looks big or your hair doesn't look nice. And, you know, and the love that children give you is the best feeling in the world. You know, it surpasses every single thing. I'd rather be a mum than be mega, mega rich, to be honest. Because I cuddle in the morning from my little one, Bailey, for example. He's 7 now. That is the best feeling in the world. Or snuggling up and watching a movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the best. I absolutely love it. And he's really, really excited about all of it. And he actually wants to be a sled DJ. He's already got a little sled mix. And he's coming out with some really good tunes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really good. So he wants to, I said to him for his birthday, he's going to meet a sled DJ who will just teach him how to DJ, bless him. So yeah, it's really exciting. Maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be whatever he wants, to be honest. But yeah, he is sort of going down that route, which is a little bit comical.
Oh, what a birthday present.
I know.
Now, if you're comfortable talking about it, Maria, I wanted to briefly ask you about when you were in a wheelchair. Now,
oh yeah,
how long did that last, and how did you like overcome the odds and be able to walk again?
So the joke was who's going to walk first, baby or mummy? That was insane. He nearly died at birth. So basically, they had to do CPR. They hid baby from me. This midwife had a big bottom and just literally hid. And I didn't hear baby come out crying. You see it in the movies and it's like, there's no noise. Why is there no noise? It was not good at all. My mum, I looked to my left and my mum was white as a ghost. So I knew that there's something really, really wrong. And there's no crying. You can hear there's no crying. Why is there no crying? And it was silent. And then, thank God, then after it felt like minutes. Hopefully, I think it was like seconds. Then there was a little cry. And I thought, oh, okay. And you're trying to second guess what is going on because you've literally basically got stuck inside and they should have given me a cesarean, but they didn't have time. So then I broke everything to get him out. I was off the bed because they were saying because he was going to pass away inside me. So I had seconds to get him out. Yeah. And so I snapped, and I didn't know that we had a bone called the symphysis pubis, which is the fun of your private. And I didn't know that you had that until this happened. And so, yeah, I had to basically snap everything to just get him out. And then I was like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain. And the nurse was going, oh, no, you're fine, it's okay. Just because you've given birth. So I was walking from the bed to the toilet. Luckily, it was an ensuite. And I was walking, but really in a lot of pain, Matt. Like, I can't tell you. And my mum's going, don't worry, it's okay. Just given birth. And then after the second day, I was on the sofa. I said, Mum, and I stood up. I said, Mum, I can't take one step. There's something wrong. My mum was like, yeah, there's something wrong. So we went back to hospital. And I had a thing called symphysis pubis disorder. And, yeah, I was stuck in a wheelchair. Oh, that was crazy because I went from, I was an 8 then, because it's very important to be healthy for your baby. And then I went from an 8 to a size 22, which is humongous. I was like nutty professor, getting bigger and bigger, because I just couldn't walk anywhere. And I wasn't eating cakes or anything bad. It was just I wasn't burning anything off because I couldn't walk at all. So I'd put baby on my back, and I'd crawl big baby on my back to get from A to B, because I could manage that. And but I was getting better and better, luckily, by swimming, because obviously the bigger you are, then the more pain you're going to have on the symphysis pubis.
Yes.
So we worked out, So I would literally, it was like I was paralysed with my legs. So I would swim, I'd have to float in between my legs, and then I would swim with my arms, doing lengths every day to lose weight, which is exactly what happened and what worked. So I was getting better and better, and then they'd go to the hospital and they'd zap the area. I don't know if that works or not. But then as I was getting better, we would then joke, go around, you've got the little, in supermarkets, you've got the little wheelchairs that go a little bit fast, actually. So I'd be in one of those with my little one by the side of me, and then we'd stand up, and then I'd sort of take steps, and people would look at me like, oh, she can walk. Like I was like paralysed. And it'd be a joke that I would do. Because I was like to follow people to reach something, do you know what I mean? And then I went to crutches, and then I went to flats, so basically. But yeah, I was a bit mad. But it is good though, because it made you realise just even walking. And so now, and I noticed that there wasn't many places for wheelchair users, so that was doo-doo. So I'd contact the council, and I'd say, you need to be having, this and this and this area. And I still now, to this day, if I see somebody in a wheelchair and I can see they're not going to be able to get up on that pavement, I'll help them. Yeah, because I've been there and I've done it. And there's still not enough for wheelchair users. It's not enough ramps and things like that. Even some restaurants you can't even get into.
Now, I know you've had various offers to get back into the music industry over the years. You've had to politely decline for various reasons. So what is it about now that means the conditions are right for you to come back, Maria?
Personal things have changed and improved. So it's also that. Plus also my child is older. He's 7 now. So, he knows that I love him to bits. So if, for example, I have to gig somewhere, he knows that I love him. So if I can't tuck him in bed that one night, he's going to be okay. Whereas, if he's a baby, it'd be different. I'd worry, or even a toddler. I think it's really important for that child to feel loved and settled. So there's a lot of pros. And it's 2022 now. I think this is going to be a very lucky year. I hope. For me and my boys, I think it's going to be a very lucky year, and I think that's what it's about. We've all had I think it's also because of COVID, we've all had a really tough time worldwide, and I think now is the time to just say yes. Say yes. And I think that's what we need to be saying more. Right. Because we've been through so much, we need to say yes, actually. We will, but also, don't get me wrong, the track is very good. The instrumental section is very good. So it's a no-brainer, is the yes. So I think it's very good. So I'm up in my cardio now. I'm swimming a lot, gymming a lot. I've got a lady that does hair extensions. Because as a girl, it's nice to have a bit more volume, a bit more thickness. And so she's ready to just put them in and make me look as best as I can. So I've got a little team already. It's going to be nice, and I can't wait to meet you. Obviously, come to a gig or TV show, wherever you want. I'll let you know where I am.
That would be awesome. Now, I absolutely love your voice, Maria, but I'm curious as to whether it's changed at all over the last 20 years.
I'd say no. No.
Well, that's great. That's great because I absolutely love it. I mean, you sound so amazing on Every Time You Need Me. Just the way you sing certain words just sounds so amazing. I really love it. How do you keep it sounding so great over the years?
So, okay, you've got people like Pavarotti who train 4 hours a day, but that's because he does that as a job. I have not been doing it for a while, so I'm not singing. Other people think I'm mad. I'm singing in the supermarket or singing in my car or singing. You can't just walk around and sing. And my boys wouldn't have me singing in our home because they'd be like, "Oh, Mum, come on, I'm on my PS4 with my mates," or do you know what I mean? So there's a certain limit of places where I can sing. Yeah. So I do sing in my car sometimes if I like the track on the radio, but it is a muscle that you should train. But also, it does also come naturally. So, do you know what I mean? There are certain things that I like to do. Like, I like certain words to sound angelic. And then I like certain words to sound very strong, like a ballady strong. Because I've been trained to sing at the back of theatres that the audience can hear you. So I've got quite a strong, powerful, operatic voice. I have sung opera. But for this type of genre music, it's more radio-friendly, poppy, and clear words, and also smiling when you're singing because you can hear that actually resonate through the words, and you can hear it on the radio. So that's really cool. So I don't know, let's just wait and see what it sounds like, and you can tell me if you like it or not. But the good thing is you can always put a bit of echo, or you can, they can do the little tweaks. If I'm signing like a dying cat on one word, or I go off key, they can always tweak it. That's the good thing about the studio.
Oh, I can't wait to hear your new stuff, Maria. So where can we find out about your new music on social media? Where can our listeners follow you and so on?
So it'll be all over, to be honest. It'll be on Chelsea's, it'll be on the record company, it'll be, it's going to be worldwide signed, which is very good. It'll be on my socials, but I'm not on Instagram, because I'm not into selfies and stuff like that.
Neither am I.
Yeah, I like to stay private because I'm a mum, so I like my boys to stay private and I stay private. So to be honest, it's going to be radio plugged. It'll be done in the correct professional way. Do you know what I mean? And whoever finds it. And we'll be doing like TV promo, radio promo, and magazine promo, and newspapers, and all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be done in a good professional way. I just need to step up now and deliver. But it'll be good. It'll be exciting. I'll probably have a little cry because I did that last time because I just was so chuffed to bits to be back in the studio and just really grateful, because it's like you're elated. I can't explain it to you. It's like you start buzzing. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well, I can't wait to hear all your new music, and best of luck with everything else as well, like the movie that's on the horizon and everything like that. It sounds absolutely incredibly fantastic, exciting. So
thanks, Matt.
Best of luck, Maria, and thank you so much for speaking to us. It's been an absolute delight.
Well, thank you so much. And yeah, time has flown by. I just looked at the time like, what? But yeah, thank you, Matt. And you're very, very good. And I hope this show goes from strength to strength, because you're absolutely awesome. And the way you interview people as well, you're really cool and laid back, which is a bonus. So thank you so much. And thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you, Maria. That's incredibly kind. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
So there you have it. That was my interview with Maria Rubia of Fragma and Everytime You Need Me fame. As I said just before the interview, it was a privilege to speak with her, and I think she comes across as a genuine, decent person, as we heard there with some of her comments and anecdotes, like the time she distributed water from the VIP area among all the waiting members of the public at an event, and what she said about the absurdity of the rich and famous being given nice things for free that your so-called ordinary people would have to pay full whack for. I thought it was really interesting and inspiring to learn about Maria's journey back to good health as well, after the period she spent using a wheelchair. And again, I have to say, really nice to hear that advocacy of those with disabilities and the accessibility challenges they face. But back to the music side of things, it was really cool to hear Maria's thoughts and recollections of that period back in the early 2000s, and looking to the future, it sounds like there are a lot of exciting opportunities ahead. We look forward to hearing Maria's new music later this year, and watch this space on the acting side of things as well, as things gradually get back to normal, or at least something resembling normality anyway, in today's post-COVID world. So thank you, Maria Rubia, for being so generous with your time and such a wonderful guest. As ever, if you've enjoyed this episode, if you're a fan of the podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could do me one favour and leave a positive rating and review of the pod wherever you download or stream it from. Doing that helps the podcast to get noticed by more people, and the more that happens, the more listens and downloads the podcast can get, and I can keep on attracting top quality guests to speak to us for all our enjoyment. If you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss out on any future episodes. You can follow the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Mega Music Memories, and on Twitter at Mega Memories. Thank you all once again for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much, and I will speak to you all again very soon for more 90s and noughties based nostalgia and plenty more Mega Music Memories.